Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. Now it's been a while, you've not seen me for a bit, I've not been putting out much content. I'll go over that quickly before I go into what today's video is about. There's a reason I've not put out much content, and to be honest, I'll be straight with you, there's not really been anything to make content on. Now, I could be putting out content daily, right? But it pains me to say that if I was doing that, I would just be putting out the same repeated content over and over. I mean, how many times can I tell you guys about what to buy from a shop or what to pick from a box? Like, there's only limited things that you can make content on. And to be honest, if you look back, at some point I've covered them all before. Like things like street art, things like what characters should you choose from a shop, etc. So unless there's anything new to bring to the table, I'm just literally regurgitating the same thing if I was to make that content for you. So I opted to not do that. If you want to watch that content, it's out there, you can go and get it, no problem at all. So I didn't really feel the need to add to that. I've been waiting for actual something new, something to talk about, something to discuss, and we now have that. Now, to be honest, this isn't a huge surprise because Dino actually said to me a couple of weeks ago that they were going to be doing a Capcom based collab. It was going to be announced at Anime Expo. It's actually been announced a little bit early. He said in chat last night that we were going to be getting this announcement today. It was going to be 2 characters and it was going to be from a property already in game. Now, it was pretty easy to work out what that was. Why I didn't make a video about it last night was, to be honest, speculation. I don't really see the point in doing it because I end up just getting loads of people making comments talking about, oh, you're speculating, so I just decided not to do it. But now that we actually know, I'm going to talk a bit about this, right? What my thoughts are, what my feelings are, how this is going to play out, how it might play out, how it might not play out, and you guys can sound off in the comments down below. Now, obviously, as part of what I'm going to say, I'm going to bring up, I say obviously, well, I'm going to bring up 3 different scenarios, right? How I think this can play out. I'll rank them from what I think is most likely to least likely. Obviously, one of them is probably not going to be very popular and it might be deemed to be negative. So if you're someone who watches these videos and thinks, oh, all this guy does is moan, and you comment that, do you know what? Just fuck off. I'm actually really sick of people who think someone giving an honest opinion is negative. So if that's you, just unsubscribe, go away, I don't even care anymore, right? Honestly, my content's clearly not for you, and I'd rather you didn't watch it, right? So, 3 scenarios. There's going to be 2 characters, right? We already know that at least one of them is going to be a special summon, right? There's 2 reasons we know that. 1, every collab character so far has been a special summon. 2, when you look at the login here, they're giving us special summoning tickets, right? So, are they crazy enough to put 2 characters into the special summoning pool? They are, quite clearly they are, right? But do I think they're going to do that? I really hope not, right? That is the worst scenario. The worst scenario is they put Vergil and they put Nero into the special summoning pool. That to me is definitely the worst possible outcome, because how is anyone going to get them, right? It's just not going to happen, right? It's going to be very, very difficult. And while I can see them doing it because they make such ass backwards moves in this game that it wouldn't be beyond the realms of something that they would do, I don't think they're going to though, right? Now, while I like Devil May Cry, I'm not sure who's more popular, but I think Vergil's more popular than Neo, so I'm going to say I think Vergil will be a special summon, right? Now, this is when the other 2 scenarios play out. Now, one of these scenarios would be what I would recommend that they do, because I think it would be smart. It's something that I actually spoke about not too long ago, where I said I think this would be a good move to do. And the other one wouldn't be as popular, but it would still be more popular. So, this is my guess, or my educated, slightly hopeful guess. I think Vergil will be a special summon. I think Neo will be a legendary unit. This is where the two different scenarios come up though. If they actually wanted this to be a popular collaboration, if they want this to generate buzz, if they want people to be talking about it, to get new players coming in and new players to stay, they would give Neo the Fashion Blanca treatment and make him free to play. I think that would be a very smart move by the devs. I think it would be something that would really lift player interest. They could totally tie it to having to do most things in the event. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. But it would definitely make people be more engaged with the game, in my opinion. I do think he's going to be legendary. They might just straight up charge for him though, and not allow him to be free, you know? Which, I mean, I think it would be a better move than making both the units summonable in the special summoning pool. People will say, yeah, but if you make them a legend who you purchase in the shop, then free-to-play players aren't going to get them. Well, let's be honest here, guys. If they make both units summonable and put them in the special summoning pool, and you only have a 2-week window to actually summon the units, you're not getting both of them to a usable level anyway. So what would be the point? Like, what would be the point? Being a legendary unit, especially if it got discounted, would definitely be better than 2 summonable units. However, making one of them free to play would be a very, very good way of doing it. And it would mean that they would be able to see that, yes, it did lift player interest, yes, it did increase player engagement, and it would mean that the next time there is a global exclusive, because this is technically what this is, they could do 2 characters again, and they could go, right, okay, well, do you know what? Let's just say in 4 months' time, or the rate this game's going, next month, we're going to do Resident Evil. Just for example, we're going to do Resident Evil. Let's make Leon summonable, and let's make Rebecca a free-to-play character. You know, something like that, you know? It would be something they could do to generate player interest, keep players happy, keep players engaged. I mean, there is also the slight chance, which I seriously find doubtful, that they would make one of these 2 units a standard rarity unit, rather than making them a legend. Again, it seems doubtful to me. I feel like it's either going to be a paid legend, or if they're super nice, it'll be a free-to-play legend. I just cannot see them making both these units. Well, I can see them. I'd like to think that they've actually got the brains to not do it though. But I don't see both of them getting into the legendary limited summoning pool thing. It just seems like too much of a stretch, because players are not going to be able to get these anyway, right? You're not. Like, it's very hard to get hyped for something that, I mean, I've never ever said to you guys, don't spend, right? If you want to spend, it's your money, it's your game, you can decide what you want to do. Like, I can't dictate that to you. But most people are not spending, right? So how are you going to get this, you know? That's my problem with this. It's like, the game is what, 4 month old? 4 month old? We've had Flame Summer Yang, we've had Street Poison. Is that it? Is that actually it? I can't remember what other units we've had. Is it actually just Street Poison and Flame Yang? It might be. Then everyone else has been either a legend or the 2 special pool units, right? We're getting another collab, which is going to either be special, limited, whatever. They're going to most likely 2 weeks after this throw out probably Oni. The pace is unrelenting, right? The fact is as well, they seem to want to have what, 4 to 6 weeks between collabs. Are we looking at getting another collab after this in like 6 weeks time? I really don't know, and it's a breakneck pace. I mean, it's a definite breakneck pace. I've already put out my theory about why this is happening. It's just a theory. There's no evidence to back it other than just it's a very strange behaviour. I honestly feel like China's probably going to close at some point soon, maybe in the next 12 months. They know this, and they've decided that they're going to try and get as much out of global as possible before the shutdown of the mother version is announced, because once that shuts down, most people tend to really lose interest in the translation, because they know the translation's going to end like at a definite point. I can't see any other reason as to why they do the pace that they do, because people might argue, yeah, they're doing it to milk money. Okay, but even then that doesn't make sense, because there's been declining player base. You'll see other content creators probably saying that this is good because it's going to like generate interest, it's going to bring in new players and all the rest of it. I would argue that Dante didn't do that. People might say that was by virtue of his kit not being so good. Well, that wouldn't really affect new players, because new players don't know what they're looking for, and people were upset at Dante being a special summoning unit before they even saw his kit, because players were burnt out by the constant barrage of new units that need to be summoned this way, that way, and whatever way is difficult to get. We've just had Sagat, obviously. We're going to have this. We'll very quickly then have some new summer units, followed by a special limited unit. I mean, it's just not going to stop. And I don't know. I think players are finding it really difficult to stay engaged, because it's a gacha game at the end of the day. People might say that you can save, or there's good events, there's this, there's that. If we're being real, the events are essentially copy-pastes. Like, they don't change much, they just change the skin that's on them, right? The rewards you get from those events would be great if you could use them to summon the units, but the reality is people now know that you need so many tickets, so many tokens to actually get a unit, that unless you save for months and months and months, you're not going to get one anyway. So you start to lose the whole gacha-ness of the gacha, and it just turns people off. Like, I just feel like this pace is detrimental to the game. I feel like anyone that doesn't really talk about this is just really glossing over the issues at hand. Okay, you can say it's hype that we're getting more Devil May Cry characters. If you love the franchise, then super duper. But unless you're willing to put your hand in your pocket and spend an absolute fortune, then you can love the franchise all you want. You're not going to get anything to represent the fact that they were in the game, you know? Like, again, I'm a bit of a realist, guys, and I've always talked about things that I don't like in the game, because I see myself as a normal player, and if I think something sucks, it's generally because it does suck. And I speak about that because most normal players are generally going to feel the same way that I do, and that's because you want to play a game, you want to enjoy it, you want to feel rewarded, you don't want to feel like your time's wasted. That seems normal to me, and if anyone feels differently to that, then honestly, I don't think you're normal, because like, who is happy with being screwed over constantly in a game? It doesn't make sense. So this is why I highlight the things that I highlight. I try not to find the silver lining all the time, and that again isn't me just looking for negatives. That is, I don't want to downplay the problems, you know? Like, if there's 20 things in a game that's shit, what's the point in focusing on the one thing that's good? Because that's you just ignoring all the stuff that's not good, and then the developers and all the rest of it, they think, well, we don't need to fix that because there's this content creator out there praising this one element and ignoring the other shitty elements all round about it, you know? And that's how they just kind of rest on their laurels. They don't bother fixing things, they don't make things better, and it's like this, you know? This will not have pity. In fact, you know what, I'm just going to tell you something. The game's been data mined, and supposedly there is pity in the game. There is pity in the game, and it's like something like 25 multis or something stupid like that. It's either 25 or 30. There's like a crazy number of pity in there. I can't like confirm that as a fact because I never data mined the game myself, but it was information that was passed on to me by people who data mined the game. And if that's the case, it's just absolute madness that they think that for a game that requires as many dupes as it requires, a game that's as expensive as it is, to have summon pity anywhere near even 20, it's just absolute madness. It's like utter madness, you know? Anyway, that's it. So, Devil May Cry coming. Yay, let's get excited. If they make one of the units free to play, they will get a massive, massive thumbs up. If they make one of the units legend, then I won't give them a massive thumbs up, but I'll say it's definitely better than putting both units into the special summoning pool. If they make both units a special summon, they are absolutely off their fucking minds. Seriously, and I can't say there's no way back for the game, because, like, honestly, I think there is no way back for the game. Like, being completely transparent, you're not going to get the players who left coming back anyway, and you're not going to get the level of growth now that you would have had if you had just continued to nurture the players who were playing, who have now quit. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I think this is far too soon. They could have waited a few months. They could have spaced these things out. Players wouldn't have feel as drained or as abused. But that's it. I'll probably get a completely different tone in this video to everyone else that's going to make these videos. I don't care. Again, this isn't just about being negative. This is me being honest and me saying to you guys that the way that they're doing these things, the way that they are trying to rapidly milk players, it's not good. It is not good. You can be excited all you want for this collab, but the reality is, if you're not going to get the units, what's the point in being excited? Like, really, what is the point in being excited? Anyway, catches.